Yes, people, big up to you. 12th man's back. Race for Europe is back. Looking back at a fantastic weekend for Liverpool. And to be fair, some other people that celebrate some wins as well. Big up to Errol. Big up to Rich, who's stepping in for Billy tonight. No Billy, I don't know where he is. I think he's in Scotland for some reason. God knows why he's over there. But, you know, maybe he's getting drunk up with the Scots, seeing as Villa are terrible at the moment. Big up to Charlie as well, who's going to be on here Monday nights now, replacing Don and Dan, who are both busy. It's way too busy for 12th man, isn't it, for them too? So big up to Charlie, legend, for coming on. We've got LB joining, so please don't worry. He will be getting his cooking, as will Dan and Deji. Well, not so much Dan because they won, but, you know, it is Man United after all. Deji will certainly be getting his cooking. And you know what, Errol? When he comes on, just smile at him, because he was so disrespectful to Liverpool, putting you outside of the top 6 in his predictions. Wow, that looks very, very silly now. And he wasn't the only one, bro. He wasn't the only one.
That's what I was about to say. The wider football fan base, I just want the apologies to be as loud as the disrespect at this point. Because regardless of what, whatever we go on to do, writing us off was massively naive. Massively. But we'll get into it.
We will, man. We really will. Listen, people, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. And make sure you click on the pinned comment and the description comment for manscaped.com. They've got 20% off at the moment in time for Christmas. So please make sure you go check out their products. FTM20 is the code that you need. And the link is in the description or in the pinned comments if you're watching live. Let's start with it, Errol. You were amazing yesterday, bro. I can't even lie. I watched Liverpool yesterday, and it was just like watching a Jurgen Klopp team at his best in parts going forward. Now, some of that is Man City because they're terrible at the moment, but I just think you've got to give your hats off, take your hats off to Liverpool at the moment, who I just think have been magnificent. And I think you look at the results that you've got from the teams that back, I think around the 5th or 6th of October, I'm sure it was, you played Palace away. And I was with Roms on here, and we went through your fixtures, and I went... Get to the 3rd of December against, was it Everton? No, Newcastle, I think it was. You win that game, and I think you'll go on and win the league if you've won everything up to them. The only game you've dropped is us, Arsenal. The rest of it absolutely flew past, mate. I think you're going to win the league. I'm not going to say title's done and dusted, but for me, I kind of think it's done. I don't see Liverpool dropping 4 games and Arsenal winning the rest of their games, or Chelsea, and that's the task at hand. But before we go into titles and what this means, let's just concentrate on what you did, because I thought you destroyed them, particularly on that right-hand side. I've been kind of waxing lyrical about Arsenal's right-hand side for the last few weeks, to be fair. I think Timber, Saka, Odegaard, Saliba, all those guys on the right-hand side have been phenomenal. I just couldn't believe how easy it was for everyone to just dink the ball over to Salah and him to just run onto it. I thought City were a mess. This is 4 games now where Pep's tried 4 different systems and none of them have worked. It was mad. What does this mean for Liverpool and what does this mean for City, bro? Let's do both teams together.
I think if I look at the obvious in terms of Manchester City at the moment, I remember it was a 22-23. It was the year that Arsenal first leapfrogged, a good couple of positions in the league and got themselves off to a fantastic start in the league. And Liverpool didn't start that great, and we're not the type of team that has like a bit of a slow start or anything like that. If we went on to do title challenges against City, it was because of our good starts, and that was the foundation. So the fact that we didn't start well, it was kind of like there was signs there, and it was, can we rescue the form? Then we go to the Emirates, we get beat by Arsenal on the day. It was a little bit unlucky, the game, to and fro, but Arsenal come away with the victory. That's their first big win against Liverpool in a long time. They felt the confidence thereafter. They go on to have a run with City. They go and get a lead against City, but City starts slow, but no, they can catch up if they just stay within touching distance. I liken City to what we was, as from a fan's perspective, what we was in that season, because coming out at the end of October and into November, I knew without a shadow of a doubt it was done. Our title race was done. There's a new kid on the block in terms of Arsenal wanting to push for a title. They're looking really strong, and City are inevitable. City at some point will come good. We just have fell short, and we gave too much of a gap for us to bridge it at this moment in time. And I think City found themselves in that position after the match yesterday, where they're probably just looking at an Arsenal team that are still relentless on this mission to go and win a Premier League after 20 odd years, and they're looking at a reinvigorated, revitalised, fresh ideas, intense Liverpool side that look relentless as well at this moment in time. That I stand firm on this. There's not a player in this Premier League, and Poch, you might disagree, you might think Rice, you might think Saka, you might think whatever, but there's not a player in this Premier League that wants to win the title more than Mohamed Salah at this moment in time. There genuinely isn't. He is a man possessed, and he's on a mission. And I think a large part of, in terms of his individual aspect of it, the fact that everybody, am I right in saying the Ballon d'Or is voted for by your peers in world football?
Journalists, yeah.
Ballon d'Or to just journalists.
Yeah.
Journalists. Yeah.
Okay, so the Ballon d'Or was just the journos. He thinks he's been massively disrespected because he wasn't even in the shortlist for the 30-40 manner or anything like that.
That was wild.
So I think he just thinks, okay, yeah, after the numbers I've been putting up consistently for years, you don't think I'm still one of the best players in Europe or in world football? All right, watch this. Yeah, hold my beer. Or again, he's a Muslim, so he doesn't drink. But he is one of
the most disrespected to me. He is one of the most.
He really is. And I just think in terms of that right-hand side... Sorry, go on, Potts.
They should have for me. I look at the brackets of like Premier League goats. And
is this mic bugging out, guys? It sounds like you're not plugged in.
Sorry, it's been like it for 3 days. It's busted, bro. Sorry, man. I've ordered a new one. So I think for me, it's disrespect. It's disrespected, in my opinion, quite some way. And I just look at him at the moment, and I think he is the best, man. He is the best for me by far. And I just look at him right now, and it just looks like he's not getting any more tired. Doesn't look like he's getting older. Doesn't look like he's slowing down.
Well, this is why they have to give him a new contract, Potsy, man. Like, I get the fact he's 33, right, in the summer, yeah, but he's on 18 GNA already in is that all comps or just the league?
Just the league.
It's like, bro, like I get what, and listen, Salah's obviously now going to be saying, I want probably a 3 year, but he might be saying 2 or 3. And Liverpool are saying no 1, yeah, and they're saying we can't give you a 2 or 3 because what about if you dip off? But the problem is, you can't let this guy leave. Like, you can't let him go, man. You've got to play the risk. And yeah, listen, he might fall off next year, and you might be sitting there saying we shouldn't have. But that's the game. That's the risk. What are you gonna just risk letting him go? What about if he leaves, goes PSG, and slams it for the next 5 years? You're gonna like absolute idiot. I'd rather personally sign him up to a new contract, yeah, and if he turns out to be ass next year, he turns out to be ass. But I'd rather do that. And by the way, it's not like if you let him go, there's an obvious candidate to come in and take. Like, if I said to Liverpool fans, yo, Salah leaves, yeah, who you get?
Who do you want?
No one's replacing this guy.
No one's got an answer.
What's the point?
Do you know what the mad thing is as well for me, just in terms of what Salah can still offer this team? Like, I think, like Pot said, you know, he's 33, but he looks very mobile. He still looks very fit and physical. Say, for example, he had a big injury next year. He signs a deal and he ends up having a big injury, which means he misses 3 months and then it takes him a little bit of time to come back. Because of his goals and assist ratio, what he does in terms of his output, even if he turned into a super sub for Liverpool when he comes back, you know, whenever you bring him onto the pitch, he's probably going to score a goal or provide you an assist. So if he does that for just 20 games in the season, you've already banked in 20 GNA, and that's not even from your main source of your main source of goals anymore. That's just from a supplementary part of your squad. No other squad in the league at the minute has got somebody supplementing their starting 11 that's going to be able to offer them 15 to 20 goals GNA all season. So where I don't know from my perspective, from a Liverpool hierarchical perspective, I don't know where they're seeing the risk is going to come from Mohamed Salah, because even if he was out of form, and that's like, you know, it's not an injury and it's just a form basis, there's still enough around the Liverpool squad to still provide goals and get assists, and he still offers that level of experience and been there, done it all.
He wants to stay as well. You can hear his interview.
I said it to you at the start of the season, Potts. Liverpool, for the longest, well, obviously the short window we had from when the window closed to December, we was in a position of strength because until LB says PSG there's no other prospect or project in European football that's really going to be appealing to Salah at this moment in time. And the Saudi League's not got the allure that it had 12 months ago. So Liverpool just really need to put the right package in front of him. And I can guarantee you Salah wants to stay. And you've said it yourself. He wants to stay.
Errol,
Yeah,
is it money or is it contract length? What is it that's the stumbling block?
I think it's the contract length, and he wants to basically guarantee that he stays on the same. He doesn't want to take a reduction in wages, is what I understand.
But he's earned that right not to take a reduction in wages, because he could basically fire you to the Premier League title. And like, I know Liverpool, they're obviously well-run club and that, but we spoke about this before. To allow your 3 best players to enter into the last 6 months of their contract is just gross negligence.
Crazy.
And then to offer one of your best ever players, like in Mohamed Salah, 1 year contract, what he's doing to you, it's just disrespectful.
It's criminal.
No, I agree, and I think the timing of all of this has not been helped by the fact that Jurgen Klopp had left, and before he left, a lot of the hierarchy and the power in the club in terms of decisions on contracts and stuff went to his close-knit team. So all of a sudden, once you remove that figurehead from the club, you're in a much weaker negotiating position, because you can't really give the players any real assurances and guarantees when you haven't went and filled that space yet in terms of getting in the next Arnie slot and all the rest of it. So I think the timing of these things and the way that the clock ran down on these contracts hasn't helped Liverpool from the way that we normally operate. But I completely agree with Charlie's point there. The fact that we've allowed it now, we've had a good sustained period with Slot now where we're on the pitch moving in the right direction. There's stability in the hierarchy and the structure of the club. How we've not brought these 3 lads to the table and negotiated and just seen, felt out what it is they want and how far we can actually look to put those packages in front of them. That to me is where I'm very disappointed in FSG. I can't lie. I expected something to have been done by now.
100%, man. You need to get it done by now. But look, you have to worry about that another day. Big up to LB for the raid. Big up to Rants for the raid as well, my bro. Really appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much. I'm going to say 3 words to LB that I've never said before because I've not really needed to. You're shit, bruv.
I've been live 4 or 5 times today. I was live yesterday. I'm past all the thing, man. I'm not having this. You can't be past it. I need you to keep your energy for the whole season. You've had standards for your team. Do not let them slip now, son. The standards are out the window, mate. To be honest,
he looks like he's lost the will.
We're not going to take that, and also it's good that as panelists we're all friends. The only thing I can say to you that should hopefully encourage you is welcome, because when you were sitting there doing the Fat Joe lean back, you didn't see this day coming, but I always knew we're in the mud together. Do you get what I'm saying? And I know when I was saying last week it was the end of the road, you laughed it off as some sort of YouTube gimmick. I just want to ask you, LB, are you in agreement now that this is the end of the road? That's it. But equally, we have to respect playing City in the fact that you have been dominant for the last 9 years, and you know what? It's been great. It's been fantastic.
Appreciate that, bro.
And also, LB,
yeah, man.
I've got 2 questions. The first one being end of the road. The second question is, in terms of content, what are we going to be talking about?
Is it the end of the road? The road is at the end, but we've ordered a whole new load of tarmac, bro, and we're gonna lay a new road and a new direction. Yeah, and we will be there real soon. In terms of content, bro, listen, I got some cooking videos. I cooked a curry on the channel a couple of months ago. I'm experimenting with food videos. I might go gym in it. I mean, be a gym influencer. Maybe we can do a little car guide, a little car tour, the Audi, the whip. I don't know, man. I experiment, see what people like.
Do you know? Hey, no, funny thing is though. Do you know how I knew LB knew City were finished? Because in the middle of the week, he's been ranting and raving about the Champions League, and I was just on a troll thing to get me. So I've just dropped the message, being like, "When do you need me for the preview?" I got aired. I knew from when he didn't come and ask me to say 2 words on his channel about somebody, he was not feeling it.
I didn't even
He did not have the check.
I didn't even do it. I predicted a 2-0, man. I said we'll get beat 2-0. Like, for me, it was the most obvious thing that was ever going to happen. Man, yeah, I mean, like, I had no confidence going into the game. I don't think any City fans really had any confidence going into the game. And yeah, man, I think that's it for us, man, league-wise. We could, FA Cup, Champions League, we can buy players in January and that. But yeah, league for me is over, man. It's between Arsenal and Liverpool now. I think Liverpool are going to win it, though, to be honest.
I have to agree, man. Before I move to Charlie and Rich, Dej, you were saying that you didn't think Liverpool were going to have enough this season. Have you changed your mind now?
Yeah, look, one thing that I'm not prepared to do on this channel is to pretend that I'm Humpty Dumpty that sat on the wall and then stayed on the wall. I said with chest what I was expecting. And the thing is, I reckon I got the wrong red, is the truth. It was either going to be Arsenal mounting the challenge with Plymouth, or it was going to be Liverpool. I got the wrong red. Liverpool all day, they're winning the league. That means your club is at risk, and your club is at risk of finishing in the top 3 because, as people like to tell me, we've got the likes of Chelsea who look like they're cooking, and there are other teams that are cooking. And for me, I'm not. What I don't like, and I agree with Dan. Dan put a little message in the group chat earlier, and I agree with Dan, and I'm on Dan's side. I am fed up with the Arsenal fan base. I am fed up. I'm sick and tired of the shaking of bums. Nobody should be celebrating beating a team in claret and blue. Nobody. They have the worst kits, and West Ham is a disgrace. We had the show yesterday where Lawless has agreed to delete his current channel and start a new channel called Sense and Sensibility. And I agree with him, he should. A whole new direction in terms of his channel and where he's going in terms of content. Arsenal fans shaking their bum for beating a Sporting Lisbon team that doesn't have Amarin, for slapping up the Forest of Doom, let's be real, and you beat West Ham. Give me a break. Give me a break. Beat somebody of substance. Beat a decent team, and then I will consider Arsenal being in the title challenge. For me, you've just got some wins. I'm not sure if you guys are back yet, but I know we will see over the Christmas run if you guys are legit.
I know. See, that makes a good point, because the thing with the Arsenal fan base, and we said this just before we went live, that gets to me is, and I don't know, again, you can't speak on behalf of all of them, Potts, and you can only really be held accountable for your own comments. I think you're fairly balanced for the most part. But you've got people like Robbie coming out saying the Lisbon game for us was more impressive than Liverpool beating Real Madrid. And then you've got people like Bavs who turns round and says, I'm not worried about Liverpool, I'm more worried about City. And then 10 days later is posting Liverpool's next 10 fixtures because City had done out yet. It's like make it make sense. Like, why are we living in rent free in your head? And just like I've said, I've respected what you guys have done as a squad, and I've said where I still think your frailties lie, because I can just be objective about it. It's not taking any credit away from Arsenal and what you've been able to do. It's not taking any credit away from the incredible players you've got. But sometimes you can just call a spade a spade. This having to shit on Liverpool to prop yourselves up, to make it like it's something that it isn't. It's just wild behaviour to me.
They did this though with us though, Errol. Yeah, they don't respect people, man. They don't respect other clubs in it, and they don't respect how they're playing, man. I remember last year and the year before, mate. And it's like they just constantly just shit on the clubs, and the way they speak about Liverpool, man, is crazy.
That's what I mean.
Crazy. It's like last year. It's like, was it last year? Was it last year, Potsy, that I said to you, like, I think Liverpool will be more of a threat of the Premier League than Arsenal? You should have seen the reactions that Arsenal fans was coming. What? We finished second last year. How are you? It's like, bro, respect Liverpool, man. They got Salah, they got Van Dijk, they got Trent, they got ballers, man. They got Alisson.
You've got winners. Not only ballers, but you've got winners.
Also, you've got eyes. You can see. We could all see. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they live this narrative, but we could see the frailties with our eyes. We weren't doing a Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder. So, look, I agree with you. I'm not giving anyone flowers that hasn't been earned. Arsenal haven't earned any flowers.
Apart from Spurs, you give flowers to.
Or anything like that. What you are doing is you look like you've bounced back against some minnows. And the one difference that I will respect Arsenal over my club is that at least you guys are able to get it up against the minnows. As for my club, I just don't understand why we just focus on the top 6 and no one else. But anyway, that's another story for another stream.
We'll get to that, man. Don't you worry about that, brother. We're definitely going to talk on Spursy being Spursy again. But look, I can't even stick up for these, man, because they come for me most of the time. I actually put something out there, tweeted yesterday by saying, "Oh, when are Liverpool going to play a real team? I've only seen them spank Real Madrid and Man City. When are they got the big boys coming?" And the Arsenal fan base had a meltdown, told me I was negative and to get out of the club and go and support Tottenham. So that is the sort of fan base.
The worst thing is, Potts, they'll be calling for Arteta's head next week if you get beat. So
the problem, mate.
The usual suspects will be out again.
Yeah, what happens, Rich, is when we start to go on a cluster of bad results like we did a few weeks ago, their 5G goes down, bless them. You don't hear from them. And then when we beat Sporting Lisbon and Forest, they all come back out and start messaging me, tagging me in X or whatever it's called now, and saying, "Oh, Arteta's back." It's just I've seen this movie for 3 years. I know how it ends. Trust me. Anyway. Look, Arsenal, to be fair to them, are back playing well. Whether that means we're back to win a title or not, I still think we've got a long way to go. I just don't see Liverpool dropping 4 games in the next 20 odd and Arsenal not dropping any, because that's basically what we're saying has got to happen, isn't it? They've got to drop 3 games at the very
bare minimum. You basically need Arsenal to beat Liverpool, City to beat Liverpool, right? So that's 6 points dropped. So City would then only be 8 behind. Then you beat them, so we'd be 5 behind. So we still need Liverpool to drop 2 more games after that, and we need to go. So that's why I think it's unlikely that we'll win the league. For yous, what are you 9 behind? Are you? You've still got a chance. If you beat them and we beat them, you've still got a chance. But bro, I just don't see it, man. Honestly, and I don't want this to happen, obviously. But the only way that Liverpool don't win this league now for me is if Salah gets injured, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. If he stays fit, man, it wouldn't surprise me if they won the league by 10.
No AFCON this year as well. No AFCON this year. That's what I'm saying. Salah's a man possessed. You're wrestling a league title away from Salah at this point, and I think he's still got it in his locker.
Yeah.
On Arsenal, though, I'd say. Sorry, Deji.
No, I was just going to say, you could just tell by the way that he's playing, like, he just wants it. Do you know what I mean? It just reminds me of a few seasons ago when, Salah and Mane were just tearing up the league. He's back. He's back to his very best, the hunger, the drive. And that's when they talk about elite mentality. What Liverpool have been blessed with is a Mo Salah that is leading from the front. And he just wants it. Unfortunately, Spurs fans, Son is just not carrying the same energy from our club. He's just dying a really painful death right now. So for me, I agree. Unless Salah is not in the picture. But the thing is, they brought back the hunger that Klopp had. Slot has really brought back that energy. Like, we all knew they were going to beat City on the weekend. They destroyed them. Like it was, I think Gary Neville said he's never seen a City team get dominated. Well, apart from the week before when we slapped them 4-0. But, he's never seen Liverpool dominate a Pep team the way they did this weekend. It's going to take some doing. But also, we're just talking about City. They made a mockery of Real Madrid, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Right now, it's just looking like light work for Liverpool. And big up to them and big up to Slot. But I keep saying, people keep giving the credit to Slot. Let's just put respect on Klopp. He said what he was going to do. He reminded the Liverpool fans not to worry. And we are here to see the fruits of his labour. He set this up, and he's a bloody genius. And you guys... I've
been thinking it the past couple of weeks as well, that Klopp walked so Slot could run. Yeah. Because I think a lot of the situations that Klopp got himself into over the course of his tenure, he came in and wanted to re-establish Liverpool in the pecking order of English football. He set that out as his job. Hard job to do at the time, but he went and done it. Thereafter, I think a lot of the shit that's happened has been vindicated with the way that referees now are being seen, and quite transparently the officials are being seen. And I think more of that kind of stuff is going to come out over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. But all of that energy and vim was directed at Klopp, and as a consequence, his team suffered. Whereas you remove that man from him, and you've kind of just got to take Slot on face value, and he's not a very divisive figure. People don't love or hate him yet. Do you know what I mean? And he's going about his business so calm. And as I say, as Deji just mentioned there, the squad that he's inherited was actually fit for purpose. We just played within ourselves in that last final stretch, which ultimately let us down, because on another year, last season, it could have been City winning by 90 points, and City and Arsenal and Liverpool 2-3 points behind. In the end, Liverpool 4-5 points behind the two of them, and it looks like we completely fell away. But Slot now got us maximising everything in the whole squad as a whole. So yeah, Slot.
Can you say now, Errol, for me and LB with Chester, you're going to win the league?
No, absolutely not. I don't need to say that shit, bro. I don't need to say it.
He'll never say. He'll never. Not until the last week.
Just come out and confirm it. But you know,
why do I? Bro, I've what I said from the outset, I've stood by, and I'll stick on it. Do you get me? Like, that's the camp. I'm not moving the goalposts. You can move the goalposts around me and all the rest of it. You can tell me I'm going to win the league. I can get happy. But like I said to you from the start this season, I'm just going to enjoy the ride. If that ride takes me to a league title, better believe I am going to be gassed. And better believe I will spin the block on a couple of you, man. But until then, I'm cool.
Errol, I'm not going to lie. Me and you, we've become good friends on this race to Europe. So I'm not sure if it's race to Europe or it's race to something. But what I can't take is this narrative that we're going to take each game as it comes. You can see with your eyes, man, that you're the best team in world football.
We're the best team. We beat the German champions. We beat the European champions. We beat the English 4P champions. Lightweight. Come on.
Own it, man. All this kind of British polite attitude that you want to bring to this panel, man, is no, you're doing well. No, really, I'm doing shit. No, just accept it,
Come
man.
on, Errol, man.
And LB, and the converse is this. You know, Pep said it the other day. You know, you can't win forever, and I actually think he's just run out of goodies. I think I think that City squad is good. They just need a new tone. Do you know what I mean? I think the songs that are coming out from the violin with Pep, it's just not sinking in those players like it used to, and that's fine. You can't look. He's overstayed his welcome. Barcelona, his beloved team. How long was he manager there for?
3 years.
3 years. Bayern Munich. How long was he there for? And then you guys want to bloody keep him forever. It's not going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it's time for City and Pep to move on. Bring in Arteta.
You think, shock. War is right. Rival.
And Errol, just own the space.
The one thing you said there, though, quite quick before we move on. I think if Slot's proved anything, it shows that there will be life after the Klopp and Pep era as well, though. So City will be all right because they've got the infrastructure, they've got the funds, they've got the board. If you go and get another top manager or top coach that's doing bits across Europe, you'll be just as good at competing in one way or another.
Any company, man. I'm ready for it. Come on.
Arteta will do a good job at City.
Do you want Arteta, LB?
No. Don't want it. I'd rather have Vincent Company, to be honest.
Oh my God, I don't understand the obsession with him. But listen, one thing that we did scoot over that Deji said, LB, is welcome. And today on Midday Live with a Tottenham fan, not Deji, trying to welcome you down to his level. And I don't know that you should be accepting that, my bro.
Bro, listen, these Tottenham fans, you know what I mean? They want to just they don't get much joy, do they? Spurs fans. So, you know, they get joy when we're sad in it. You know what I mean? I get joy when my team wins trophies, Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues. But because Spurs don't win anything, yeah. It's what's that German word? Schadenfreude or whatever. Yeah, they get happy when other people get sad, man. Because they got no trophies, bro. So I get it. I understand it. Listen, I'm going to beef with Spurs, man. I don't have the energy to beef with Spurs. It's what it is. But listen, I respect Errol, man. I respect Charlie. Yeah, I respect Rich, Champions League winners. Yeah, Arsenal obviously not won a Champions League, but you've done your unbeatables. You know what I mean? So fair play to you. But Deji and these Tottenham fans, man. Nah. Are you want to talk about stadium? Nice. I'll talk to you about stadium. Yeah, you got a good stadium and that, but not football. No.
You hurt my feelings, LB.
Well, you hurt my feelings. Deji, you hurt my feelings. Last week when you beat us 4-0, you come on here, you cut me. Yeah, you hurt my feelings, to be honest.
Mate, I'm not going to lie. I've just taken issue with what you just said. There is no Spurs fan that loses sleep over playing your club because we belong to you and you belong to me. You know, like that end of the road, that one there. So the fact that you could say we disrespect you, we don't think about you because we know when push comes to
they don't think about us. They got a song about us. Potsy, play the tune or I'll quit the show forever. Play the tune. They don't care about us. They've made a song about us, chat. Their fan base is singing about us. They don't care about us. All right, play the tune, man. Come on.
Mate, they're probably making DVDs of the 4-0 win. That's normally what they do after a big win, isn't it?
Now we're going to listen to the tune and we're going to find out if you don't care about us because you made a song about us.
It's probably the funniest thing that I've seen from.
Come on, man. Play the tune.
In my life, if I'm honest with you,
whilst Dan is looking for that tune. That's why we love you. That's why we love Plymouth, because you guys bring out our musical genius, our music creativity. We're able to make connections, with Red Hot Chili Peppers. We're able to make connections with Boys to Men, because that's really what it was when we slapped you up last week, Boys to Men. I mean, Liverpool, the greatest team in the world at the moment, could only get 2, and we were still able to put 4 past you at your gaff. Do you get me? With no goals conceded. It's light work. It's light work. You belong to me, and I belong to you. LB, you're not going anywhere. Whether you're doing cooking, whether you're doing changing rooms on your channel, I'll be there.
Right, here we go. Turn it up, man.
I'll be there.
Hang on.
Where's the sound on pot?
Wake me up before you go. Smash the champions without Romero. Wake me up before you go. Smash the champions without Romero. Wake me up before you smash
What did you sing it, bro?
Probably the embarrassing song I've ever heard.
This is apparently chat. They don't care about us, but they've got a song about us.
We can do an album.
We beat the champions without Romero. Wake me up before you go. And what is going on here, man? Oh my God, bro. What are we doing here?
The only thing I will say, LB, it's a pleasure. And if not for Plymouth this season, where would we be today? Where would our joy come from? Look, keep doing it. Keep being City. Keep being whatever you guys keep doing, the same energy. We can't wait for you guys to come to our gaff and, pretend to act like you're not bothered by my team. We just have your number. It's as simple as.
That's good. What's crazy is like, your club literally means nothing to me. Nothing to me, bro.
You can't say that when we constantly beat you, bro.
But it doesn't matter. We still win everything. We still win the Prem. We've won the 4P, bro. We beat you in the Carabao Cup final. Your wins against us are irrelevant. They do nothing. We still win the league.
If it wasn't for my club, you would have been playing the final against Liverpool in Madrid.
Bro, you played a final against us and sacked your manager and put Ryan Mason in charge. You are not a serious football club, bro. You're not serious.
It's the Carabao Cup. Liverpool played their kids last season against Chelsea in that. No one takes that competition seriously. I could have been.
No, we didn't want to play our kids. We was forced into. We had nobody. We had injuries left, right, and centre. It was all we had available.
If that was the Champions League final, you're not bringing on 4 or 5 of your kids. Let's be real. You wouldn't even do that in the Prem. You're doing it for the Carabao because no one gives a damn. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what LB.
Yeah, you take a Carabao Cup though.
He wouldn't, Charlie.
He wouldn't. He said he wouldn't.
They're allergic.
Deji, would you rather win? 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 Deji, would you
Would I rather win no trophies than the Carabao Cup?
Yeah.
It depends where
How is he
Spurs
thinking
finish.
about that? How is he thinking about this?
Where is Spurs finishing though? Because it also depends on league position.
Europa League.
No.
Chat. What?
This is why they're not taken seriously, man. This is why Spurs.
That
are
is some crap. That is rubbish, bro. Come on, no. We're not doing that.
Why?
Why does it matter?
I'll take fourth and the Carabao just to appease rivals and appease the fan base. But what? Sixth and the Carabao.
Oh my word. Anyway, let's move. We're gonna come back to Spursy in a minute. But Charlie, let me talk to you quick about Chelsea, because right now I can't even lie. I spoke to Don and I was like, yeah, hands up. I got you a bit wrong. I thought Chelsea were gonna be a bit of a mess, but it's looking good, man.
Predictions there, Potsy. Have you got the pre-season?
No, I want to see where I put Chelsea if you've got them, because I'm sure I put them in fourth.
Bro, I think I cooked to me. I think I put them in like 8th or something, man.
Yeah,
no, I feel like I put them in fourth. You know, I think I backed them. Did I? Or am I chatting shit?
Right, I got cooked there.
Right, I'm not even in the top 7, LB.
Well, no, I'm chatting shit.
Sorry, man.
I had them completely falling off.
Bro, that's a madness. Me too.
Wow.
Right, there's
We
like
all got it wrong,
5 or
man.
6 people that are going in the top 7.
There's only Don who's got him in the top 4.
Deji is
I've
good.
got you six, Charlie. Come on, that's some respect.
That's more respectable than some others, to be fair.
Deji's got Liverpool nowhere.
I know. Hey, Charlie, I owe you an apology. Hands up there.
Me too.
Apologies accepted. It's all good.
You know what though? I'd love to know next time you do it next year, Potsy. You need to get us to right why, because I'd love to know what my thinking was behind it.
Back then, yeah.
I don't remember why I thought they would be 8th. I don't get why I thought that, because they've got sick players.
I think what it was, if I remember back right, it was because the window was still open and we were expecting teams to do stuff, but they didn't at the time. But even saying that, Chelsea didn't do anything amazing in the last few days to change our minds. But yeah,
it's the manager.
I think it was Maresca. I think Maresca was the unknown.
Maresca, yeah.
And I thought Newcastle were going to bounce back after a disappointing end to last season, and I thought Villa were going to hold firm. And then obviously I didn't expect nothing from Man U, really. I thought Ten Hag would have still been in the job. So, yeah. But Chelsea, you know what? Chelsea low-key have been outside of, obviously, my team this season. And I don't really like Chelsea as a club too tough. But this current squad, it's probably the most likeable squad you've had for a very long time. Even as a Chelsea fan, you probably like some of your players again.
Mate, we like all of them. Like this, this is the most likable group we've had in a good few years. You go back to the Potter days when half the squad didn't even want to be there. Everyone wants to be at the football club now. Everyone's pulling in the right direction. The squad will get on. There's a real togetherness there. And you know what? Fair play to Maresca, because he come in and, unknown manager, rookie. Yes, he'd been with Pep at Man City. Yes, he'd won them the PL2 title with the 21s. But this is someone unproven at the top level coming into what was essentially a big mess at Chelsea. And he's come in, he's made big decisions. And I was fully on board with him. As soon as he gave Sterling a boot, I was in. I was right behind him, and I thought this guy could be onto something here. But he's done really well, mate. He's got a clear identity. He's instilled a style of play. He makes little subtle changes here and there from game to game to match up the opposition. And everything he's doing right now is paying off. Obviously, there will be a drop off at some point, and we will go sort of 3-4 games, 5 games maybe without a win, and that'll be really interesting to see how he kind of responds to that, how the group responds to going through a difficult period. But right now, like for the first time in a good 2-3 years, we're the most stable we've been on the pitch and off the pitch, and there's nothing negative about Chelsea. No negative stories in the media. No mentions of price tags about Caicedo. No mentions of players being flops or anything. It's all looking good at the moment.
Do you think, Charlie, you can just stay in this title race with where Arsenal are at for a long period of time? I mean, like, what month are we going to have to get to before we actually start looking at Chelsea seriously for a title? Not that I think you will win the league, But like, I think people that are talking about Arsenal being in a title race, but not Chelsea, you look at the table, it's fairly disingenuous. I understand that you're probably a goalkeeper and a striker away, at least from, in my opinion, going and challenging properly. But right now, you're doing what we're doing, bro, in terms of what the table is.
I mean, you're ahead of us on alphabetical order. That's it at the moment. But yeah, look, I don't get drawn into any title talk. I know, Deji, you won't like this, but we're just under the radar. We just do our thing, take it game by game, and just see where we end up. But I will admit, if we get to the end of January, start of February, and let's say it's 5 or 6 points, then it's very hard to play down. It's very hard to play down being in a race. But right now, I think we just do our thing. Forget about what anyone else is doing. Just keep picking up the wins if we can, and just see where we end up. Ultimately, like for Chelsea, we've got to get back in the Champions League. Let's win the Conference League. See what we can do in the FA Cup, and that's a successful season. I just think we're a year too early for a title challenge.
Would you be happy winning the Conference League?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that's a winner mentality right there. No, it is though. Nobody wants to win it, but you offer the guy the chance to win it, and he says yes straight away. Doesn't think twice about it. That's a winning mentality. Come on.
We haven't won any trophies for 3 years. Of course, I'm taking a Conference League. That's why I was so annoyed we went out of the Carabao Cup and we took the piss with our team against Newcastle, because we won no domestic trophies.
Why did you take the piss against Newcastle? Why did you take the piss in that competition?
Well, because obviously he didn't value it or didn't think it was that important in terms of the objective. So, like, that's why I was annoyed about that, because we've got no domestic cups since 2017 or 2018 or whatever. Like, we need to be winning trophies. So, like, every time we go out of a trophy is a big disappointment. So, yeah, absolutely, I'm taking a Conference League.
What Deji is not realising, though, what Deji's not realising is that there's been 4 teams that have been in this Conference League, and 3 of them have taken it seriously. One of them haven't. That's what's hilarious. West Ham have won it. Villa got to semi-finals, or what I believe, Rich.
Semis.
Let's be real, Chelsea are going to win it. And Tottenham didn't even get out of their group stage.
We removed. Can we get it right? We removed ourselves from the competition.
Remove yourselves.
Let me say this to you, Charlie. Look, Chelsea at the moment look like they've got it right under Maresca. You look threatening, and the respect is coming back. My thing to you, my advice, and I know not many people, Chelsea fans, will want to advise from a Spurs fan, is keep looking up. The second you lower your standards to Europa Conference League, be prepared for what's coming next. You, man, will be nowhere to be seen. If you pick up that trophy this season, I've got you down. I'm going to the bookies anywhere between 8th and 10th. The demise of Manchester United was for the same reason. Aim low and you get low results. I'm just putting it out there.
No, mate,
remove you from that Carabao Cup. That was wise. But the wisest thing to do would be focus on the Prem.
Bro, this is dead advice. Didn't Chelsea win like the Europa League in like 2018 and then like 3 years later win the Champions League?
Yeah, we've been in the
Europa League was bad, LB.
No, but we've been Europa League twice and we've won it both times we've been in it. So, like, it's...
Bro, look, Chelsea are in Europe. Chelsea are in Europe to win. Full stop.
Conference League is a one and done. We're in it because obviously Man City had their day off in the final. They were hungover from celebrations or whatever. So like, we're not in it because we qualified for it through the league. We're just in it through unfortunate circumstances. But it's a one and done for us. Let's complete the set and then we move on to better things.
Am I right in saying you'd be the first club in Europe to complete the set?
Yep. Yeah, we'll be the first club, and I don't think any other clubs will do it.
Errol, that doesn't make it sound any more impressive. Don't do that. You're a wordsmith with the English language. That was terrible. Set.
Like we're in it to win it. We enter every competition to win it. So of course, if we win a Conference League, I'll be there celebrating all three European trophies. The bus parade they do one. You know, we haven't won trophy for 3 years. That's not normal for us. So any trophy, I'm happy to take.
Did you give it back, Charlie?
You probably would, yeah.
I would if I could. I would give my players food poisoning so they didn't have to play it.
Deji, if Spurs won the Conference League, are you saying that Tottenham fans wouldn't be chanting Champions of Europe at grounds? Because they absolutely would.
No.
Yes, your fan base would. Your fan base would.
We'll be chanting Champione, and then you can read in between the lines. There's no way anyone with self-respect is going to be singing Champions of Europe for the Europa Cup. Are we spoken with
Lawless did.
Lawless was singing it, that's for sure. Lawless and West Ham lot. So, is what it is, man. Is what it is. But look, I thought Chelsea was impressive. Rich, Villa, not so much. I can't lie, bruv. I don't know what's gone on with Villa. You just fell off a cliff, bruv. I think, what's it now? 1 win in 8 or something. Watkins has missed the most chances in the league. Defensively, it don't look right. Martinez was pretty much gifting the ball and trying to pass it to Jackson at one stage. You had Pau Torres, I don't know what he was doing. It was a mess, bro. I don't know what's happened, man. I mean, a lot of my Sam was saying to me about Emery's second season syndrome, but look, I think he can pick it back up. But you're just not playing well, Rich, are you?
Where do you start, mate? I mean, toothless in attack, terrible in midfield, all over the place in midfield, 6s and 7s at the back. It's just woeful at the moment. And the worst thing is Chelsea. They didn't have to get out of second gear to beat us, and
it was so easy.
It was embarrassing. I mean, if you're not playing well, the first thing that you expect, the least that you expect, is for players to do the basics, is to run around, put tackles in, make it difficult for the opposition, get a few yellow cards, put a few big tackles in, and we just gave up. We were still standing off players at 2-0 down and just trying to pass the ball across the back like we were 2-0 up. Honestly, I don't get it. And I mean, I've had a bit of a rant on my own shows, and I just hate it when players do that. I think, where's the leaders? Where's the belief? Where's some characters having a go at players on the pitch? Like, they look into the managers if to say, "Oh, I've got to do everything that the manager says." You need people to stand up and be counted in times like this. And at the minute, I just don't see where next win's coming from. I know we've got Brentford on Wednesday, Southampton at home on Saturday, and honestly, I can't see where the next win's coming from. Yes, you can say we're going to turn it around, but nobody's playing well. We had 2 shots or something on Sunday, and that's Wally Watkins. And he's awful at the minute. Morgan Rogers is
exactly
terrible.
Like me, bro. Everything that you're saying is exactly what I'm saying about my team, bro. It's like the same thing, isn't it? Not seeing shots, not seeing goals. Not seeing where the next win's coming from.
How did Watkins miss that, though? Because Fofana slipped over and I'm sitting behind that goal and I'm thinking, oh, nice, equaliser coming straight. And he just played it straight to Sanchez. It looked like a player that's just got no confidence in his finishing.
Well, he scored. The thing is, he scored last week against Crystal Palace. Good finish. He scored for England. So he should be in a decent vein of form to score a goal. But the problem is we just, we're playing so deep. We're playing across the back, but it's on the edge of our own penalty box, then expecting players like Morgan Rogers or Leon Bailey to beat 4 players and then slot it through to Ollie Watkins, with 40 or 50 yards to run on goal. And then he's doing doggies up front, running around trying to pressurise people. And by the time he gets the ball in an attacking position, he's knackered. Like, we're just all over the place at the minute. I don't really know I can't really put my finger on why and what we're doing and what we're not doing. There's a case for maybe changing the team up. What's John Duran got to do to get a start? What's some of the other players got to do to get a start? Even the likes of Emi Buendia, even the likes of Tyrone Mings, maybe to come in and sort of ruffle a few feathers, shake it up a little bit. He's still persisting with this system, and he's still saying that they're doing what he's saying, they're doing what he's asking, but it's not getting any results at the minute. So something needs to change. Otherwise, we're just going to keep going down this road.
Rich, you worried about it? Because I know the table's close enough. I think you're like 12th now or something. Like how big a concern is this? Because I think your last swim was like Fulham away in like October or something. That's not normal for Villa. Like they're outstanding last season. Started the season really well. The form in the Champions League is decent as well. But
yeah, it's a concern, mate, because we're trying to look like we've got this calm exterior. We're trying to look like we still can pass it across the back and try and play through the lines. We're like a swan who's swimming on top, looking all pristine on the surface, but underneath we're absolutely shitting ourselves. Our legs are going crazy, and like we've just got nothing. It's so I can't. We haven't beaten Crystal Palace. We haven't beaten Bournemouth in games that you kind of expecting Aston Villa to win. So what makes us think we're going to beat Brentford? What makes us think we're going to all of a sudden turn it around and put on an amazing performance against Southampton? So yes, it'll come to an end at some point. We'll get a win from somewhere, but there's a lot that needs to change, and I don't know if it's tactically, I don't know if it's mindset, I don't know if it's personnel, but it is a concern at the minute.
Do you know what?
Can I interject slightly, Dan? Because I know you've got a question.
Go on, Ded.
I'm just not really enjoying Rich's kind of philosophical tone of voice. It's rattling me, and I'll be honest with you, Rich, because the way that you sound like you're surprised. And the last time we spoke, I kind of warned you about this, and I'm not trying to take credit here. I think Errol was here, Dan was here. We told you that Emery cannot juggle two things at the same time, and I was poo-pooed. And I'm here now to say I told you so. We know from experience, Emery is not good in the league. He focuses on Europe. So for you to come here and say, I don't know what we're going to do against Brentford next couple, you weren't going to do jack, mate. You were never going to be up there. What were you thinking? What were you smoking budgie Banton on an empty stomach? You were never about. I told Billy, you should have been gone from September.
Well, this is it, Deji. We'll just have to win the Champions League. Then obviously that's the only competition that your boys would turn up for. So we'll just have to win that one. We'll do it for you. We'll dedicate it to you, mate.
Yeah, 100%. All I was saying is you have to win the Champions League. The thing is, though, let's not run joke on it. You guys are crazy enough, and Unite is crazy enough to do it. I wouldn't rule you guys out. I wasn't surprised when you lot slapped up Bayern Munich. But this thing that you were going to juggle the two, and then Villa fans you're trying to make players that none of us know what they look like if we pass them in the street. Try and pretend like all of a sudden they're ballers. They're not they were never about that life. So for me, normal service has resumed. I think Villa go deep in the Champions League. But as for the Prem, forget. You guys 8th, 9th, 10th. But I think if you finish 8th or 9th and you get to the semis, that's a respectable season, because the Champions League is no joke. And if I were you, I'd be biting someone's hand off for that.
Look, mate. It looks like we will be about 8th or 9th in the league as it stands. But it is very, very tight in there, and it's. I can't argue much with you. That's the worst thing about it. I can't argue much with you about it. We are woeful at the minute. What I would say is that last season yes, it's the Conference League. I take all that, but it was Thursday, Sunday, right? And that's meant to be the hardest way of juggling. And we did do it. We got to the semi-finals of the Conference League, and we finished in the top 4. So I don't know if that can be used as an excuse this season to say, balancing up the Champions League and balancing up the Premier League. We're just not playing very well, and that's it. I don't. They need to fix up. They need to sort it out. That's
what it is. How long do you give him to not to say he's not going to get a manager's? I'm not saying. Get me words out. How long do you give for him to wrestle this form and turn it around? Not to say that you want to get rid of Emery, but before you concede the fact that league-wise, you're going to be miles away from where you expected to be at the start of the season.
You're saying bring Gerrard back, Errol?
No. Can you imagine?
Emery's going nowhere, but yeah.
I'm not saying. You know what I mean? Just how long do you give him before you concede? All right, this. Or we have to put all of our eggs into the Champions League basket. Do you give them up to Christmas? Do you give them to the end of January? What's the kind of?
I think January. I think after mid-January, I think you'd look at that. I mean,
what's
to be fair,
run like? What's the Christmas run like? Is it difficult?
The actual Christmas week is Man City at home and Newcastle away. So Man City on the 21st, Newcastle away Boxing Day.
3 points.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if going back to last season, we were obviously brilliant right up until that kind of January time, and then we really fell off. Yes, we beat Arsenal in kind of April, but that was really the only. There's that performance in Bournemouth at home that were really any decent. We limped over the line for the Champions League. So if we're still in and around it, and maybe we've got a bigger squad this season, maybe we've had less injuries or whatever you want to say, maybe sort of March, April time, we don't fall off as much as we did last season, and I'm hoping that might be something that we can kind of push on with, because even the season when Emery came in, we were terrible at the time when Gerrard got sacked, and Emery went on a crazy run and got us into 7th position. Then we kept that momentum going. Then we've dropped off again now, and we haven't really been great all of this calendar year. So, it could be a wave that turns around and we go back on a bit of a run of form and hit a bit of a purple patch. But maybe I'm just clutching at straws. Deji will say that.
Emery will turn it round. Like, he's a good enough manager. I'm not saying that Villa will go take you to that Emery will take you into like definite top 4. But
he's on a 5-year contract, Rich. New one.
Yeah. I mean, everything is built around Emery. So if it was to go tits up, then it would be a difficult situation, because the whole setup is around Unai Emery. So that would be difficult. That's why obviously it won't happen at the minute at all. But yeah, it would be one of them where everything would have to be ripped up and started all over again if the worst happened in that situation.
That ain't gonna happen. I know Deji says it's all gonna go crashing down. I wouldn't have that just yet, is what I'm saying. Look, we've got a few minutes before Deji's got to go, so we're gonna wrap up the show with this last segment of Deji talking about how Spurs are still Spursy, and how he wants Anjin out, in, out, shake it all about. I can't keep up, man. 1 minute we want to see Anjin, then the next minute we want to see him out. This is going to be doing the okey cokey soon, brother. What's happening here, man?
Well, we got to do the hokey cokey at the moment because it's absolute disgrace. No Spurs fan was surprised. I mean, look, there were a series of unfortunate events. One of them being that Solanke pulled up with the norovirus, I believe. They haven't confirmed it, but I believe it's the norovirus. They could see it in his face. We had to start with Timo Werner. We had to put bloody Son up top. Look, Fulham are no mugs, but if we are a team that is pushing for top 4, then in my opinion, we should be slapping them up. And right now, we look like a bunch of zebras. Now you see us, now you don't. We win one, we lose one. We win one, we lose one. The other thing that I don't like about Tottenham, and you guys know this for a fact, I don't like anyone that disrespects the Premier League and the fact that we dominate world football. People will come and tell you rubbish about the Liga, and it means if I don't get to go to Spain, whoopity-doo. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, the Premier League is the best league in world football. And I can't understand why Tottenham only want to turn up against the big boys. We turned up against Villa. See, Rich, that was a compliment. We turned up against Arsenal. We turned up against Newcastle. We slapped up Plymouth. And but we just can't seem to get it up against the minnows. I really don't know. We need to see a GP. And it's concerning because at the rate we're going to get absolutely thumped by Bournemouth on Thursday.
And we're going to do you in Sunday, Deji, as well.
And then we'll slap you guys out. I'm not saying that we're a better team than you.
Bro, when have you ever slapped us up? We own that ground.
It's very likely that Tottenham are turning up against the big dogs. And also, for you to beat Tottenham, you can't out-possess us. We have the best ball possession in the league. We've scored the most goals in the Prem. We've also got the second best goal difference. Have some respect, Charlie. The issue
is, you will be here next Monday, and you will be respecting me when we win again.
Charlie, I tell you how you win. And Maresca, because I know he's a fan of the channel. And Maresca, if you are watching live, just put an M in the chat, please. You know what I'm saying? You've literally got to sit back You got to literally park the bus and hit Spurs on the counter. A little bit like how you dismantled, was it Newcastle or Brighton, one of them, where you dismantled, sat back, hit them on the counter. If you do that, you rip Tottenham to shreds. If you try to play ball, if you try and get creative and think you're going to outpossess Spurs, you will get lamped so hard. And Charlie, I can't even tell you what could happen to you next week. It would be
if we lose, I won't be able to show my face.
I mean, it could be that bad. So for me, now you see me, now you don't. I'm not expecting Tottenham to beat Bournemouth. I am expecting Tottenham to beat Chelsea. And I did say on the show yesterday, someone asked the question, who could stop Liverpool? And it depends on in what context. Tottenham can beat Liverpool for the same reasons, but we're not stopping them from winning the Prem. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't need to make sense. It's just what it is. And for me, if you can't motivate your players to play against the minnows, then for me, there's a serious, serious problem, because really it's about beating the minnows and then trying to get a point or 3 points against your rivals that determines a top four finish, not the other way around. You can't go around beating all the big dogs and then losing against the minnows. That don't make no bloody sense. And that's why Tottenham are found in no man's land. I'm pissed right now. I can see Tottenham losing to Bournemouth and Chelsea this week. And I've already done my lastminute.com. I've seen Qantas Airlines. It's the only airline that goes direct to Melbourne from Heathrow Airport. And wouldn't be able to stay at my club. 15 games played, 7 defeats. If he doesn't somehow have a miracle this week. And I don't know how when our squad is depleted the way that it is. So it is what it is. We are a disgrace. And I really can't put my finger on it.
Mate, if you do manage to beat Bournemouth, maybe you can create another song saying you beat him without Van de Ven and Romero or something like that. It'd be quite nice to hear. Wake me up before we go.
Well, if we do that to Chelsea, I swear down. If Tottenham beat Chelsea, not really Bournemouth. I mean, Bournemouth, all you're getting from me is all we like to be beside the seaside. But in terms of Chelsea, I will be dropping some Tupac, some BIG. I mean, I'll be giving. It will be epic. X Factor settings on this show on next week Monday, and Charlie will have to be here to take it.
I'll be here. I'll show up. But I'm confident that I'll be enjoying myself next week.
Well, I've got to say, I just don't know how to go with Spurs anymore. I just know that they ain't going to beat the lower teams like Deji said, because I won money at the weekend on Spurs. I knew it was going to be 1-1.
Most obvious result going.
Honestly, you go smash up Man City, can't beat Ipswich, can't beat Fulham. That's just Spurs under Postecoglou.
We are Spursy this season. Like, legitly, we are Spursy this season, and I can't see how we stop this. Stop the rot. The only thing that is going to keep Postecoglou in his job is I've already conceded the fact that Spurs might not finish top 10. But I actually suspect that he's going for the treble. And if he's able to pull off the treble, he's a genius. And I will take back every negative comment that I've said about Postecoglou. And I don't know why it's so funny. It's very doable. We're playing Manchester Piccadilly in the quarterfinals of the Carabao. The likelihood is we could be playing Arsenal in the final. Arsenal don't give a damn about the Carabao Cup because they've got bigger fish to
Yeah, you're not bothered about that one.
What's that?
You're not bothered about that cup, though, are you?
No, I don't care. But if we're winning the treble has there's a je ne sais quoi about the treble. Europa League, I would say that we're probably the best team in the Europa League right now. Who's stopping Spurs? And we don't have to worry about anyone from the Champions League dropping in. Yeah, so that's 2. And the FA Cup.
You haven't won it since 1991. You sit there like this. It's obvious Spurs have got a chance.
It's very
I haven't won the League Cup for 16 years. Haven't won
Do you
the
know what,
FA
though?
Cup since '91, and haven't won the Europa League. What are we doing here now? Not one of them, all three of them apparently now. This is incredible.
But Ange always wins in his second season, though, doesn't he? So maybe he is going to win trouble. Always wins in his second season.
I think he's going for the trophies and not the league. And if he pulls it off, he's a genius, in my opinion.
Well, let's see if he's going to.
But if he flops, it's the biggest flop.
We'll see if he ends up this or not.
But if you want to say, if you're asking me, am I happy finishing 10th with the treble? I think at the end of the season, if he achieves it, I will be happy. But getting to that process, going through the process is pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie. Just winning one, losing one, winning one, losing one is driving me nuts. And at the moment, I can't take it. I can't stand the rain. It's my window. I can't. I want him out personally, and I just want to start with. I just want to win 3 games on the bounce. That's what I'm asking for. 3 wins on the bounce, and I don't see that happening this season.
No, neither do I. Not with Ange in charge. Listen, people, big up to every single one of you. Make sure you do me a favor. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're getting close to the big 3-0 now. Make sure you check out manscaped.com. Show them some love by the pinned comment in the description as well. 20% off FTM20, FTM20. Make sure you're there for Christmas discount. Make sure you go follow all of these guys as well, man. Make sure you're following Errol on socials. What's your social handle, Errol? Always get it wrong.
Solitaire side up. Yeah.
Solitaire side up. Make sure you're doing that for Errol, and you'll see him on Redmen TV as well as here. Make sure you go follow Deji Spurs for all Spurs content, watch-alongs content. Make sure you're going and following him. Make sure you're following Charlie as well for all things Chelsea. You'll see him on Chelsea Fan TV, but also on Blue Brother CFC as well. And Rich, shout out your podcast and big up to you for coming on, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Dan. Villa Park Podcast on YouTube, Villa Park Pod on TikTok as well.
Come on, make sure you go over there, and big up to you for filling in for Billy tonight. You know you're always welcome anyway. Billy, God knows where he is. Maybe he's crying somewhere in Scotland. Do you know what I mean? So that's very good. Big up to you guys, man. Listen, big up to the chat. Thanks for super chats. Thanks for comments, and we will see you next time. Oh, lastly, we're redirecting to Igal now. I'm going to be on there later, so I'll see you over there in a bit.